Well, the real daddy's got to stop this sugar daddy bullshit, So the real daddy got to get it on. Got to get up and do my thing. The sword comes out of his mouth. The word became flesh, the living word. When you have faith, you speak truthfully and faithfully, and then you commit that faith to action, and then that faith becomes the action that we become because of our faith. Do you understand? Okay. Now, if you got an asshole like, say, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, and they have so much wealth and control and power and authority, okay, they could both be working on their fourth clone, right? But scared to death that everybody's going to discover, and then their power and their control will be taken from them by someone as big of a loser that doesn't put any effort into be the power control man like me. He hasn't put in the effort. He hasn't put in the work. Oh, I'm the type of person, man, when I exercise, it starts to hurt. We going to take a rest or quit. So, okay, that's it. This is getting out of hand. You're going to hurt yourself. What for? I want to win the game. You're going to go across 110th Street, end up like Jimbo Harris? Right? Why would you want to do that? How money going to keep you safe? You live the Lord's Prayer. You got safety around you. You got money. Anybody who rules the world, who do you believe in? When anyone breathing can leave your ass bleeding. Remember when I told those rap lyrics to Chris Baldwin? He said, well, that's fucking stupid. And others, I said, man, a 3-year-old could walk in, grab your 9 off the coffee table and blow you away. He said, if anybody's stupid enough to do that, I think a heroin addict would be stupid enough to do that. And he got mad. You see, okay. Why do you think he tried to get me fired? Why do you think he always attacked Jesus and tried to attack me with Odin? Because when I spit it legit and try to help people save themselves from their own shit, they don't want to hear it. People don't like to hear me talk. People don't want to hear it's like, you don't know me, Moby. Nobody listens to techno. Okay. You're already an asshole. You think like an asshole. Okay. You think like a cloner that would clone himself to appear powerful. Okay. It depends on which cloner it is. Cooper, Winkle, okay, Kripke, Hofstetter. Which cloner is it? Dear lady, read another book. I will when God writes one. Okay. Well, I'm living one and I'm speaking one, and I ain't God, and I'm ending the bullshit. And Charlton Heston dead, so he can't speak it for you. And I tried to get somebody like James Earl Jones to speak it for me for freedom, but he dead and died with a residual check from the Lion King in his pocket, talking about his days in Tijuana, going to brothels and swimming in Angie Dickinson's pool. Right? Who's Angie Dickinson? She's the lady from the Burt Reynolds movie with Ozzie Davis. And, you know what I'm saying? And so people don't like to listen to me talk, and they don't want to talk to me because they ain't standing up for the Lord's Prayer, and they don't want to hear the truth about themselves. James Cleveland Owens. You find out people ain't exactly down with it when you give them the lowdown on themselves. Right? Fastest man alive. Best jumper in the world. Right? Basketball court, I had you. I owned you. When I go out there and play and I can't jump no more, this side over here, that's my leaping leg, my push-off leg. Yeah, I knew what I was heading in for. That's why I quit playing when I did. Because Jesus told me when I was a little kid, this is wrong and it's stupid. It shouldn't happen. Threats of nuclear warfare, mass murdering people to manipulate them with money. So, this is scary and creepy, Jesus. You're the guy who's going to help me stop it. But I'm a little boy. You can be a little boy forever, little Earl. Right. I do what I need to do. They thought it was my alter ego from the science projects. Not everybody is the inside, Some people, did they really invent a wormhole and use Parsons Aeronautics through a space station to go back and get Jesus and Muhammad and move them to the future? It's tangible. Yeah, it's tangible. Yes, it is. It's tangible to clone. It's tangible to Mark Zuckerberg to be on his fourth and Elon Musk to be on his fifth clone, and you not even know it. That's tangible also. Hello, Dolly the Lamb. Okay. You're an asshole just like your sugar daddy. You understand? You voted for money to kill your competition and keep your money safe rather than stand up for a living Messiah that is tangible, scientifically valid and tangible. Okay. You voted for money and to kill over money and a comic book that's not tangible. It's not tangible for me to be God. It's not tangible for me to bring myself back from the dead once I've been beaten half to death. It's not tangible. It's not tangible. I haven't been beaten half to death. I've been poisoned half to death. When you're poisoned, you drink lots of water, you pee, you get out of the poison, you give the body a chance to recover, the cancer cells to say, hey, we're going to live. Now I got to get up and move again, and it's uncomfortable. And when, Trump took office again, they're going to try this next move. And then I make them feel like it's going to work. And then what happens? Ain't going to work, bitch. Okay. Did it work last administration? Did any of the stuff work last administration? No, we got COVID. You killed lots of poor people. Innocent people. I'm still alive. Okay. Innocent people. You standing up for the Lord's Prayer without fear. You telling everybody you know without fear. Okay. Are your children doing it? So you're training your children to be just as guilty as you. Who's innocent? If there's one man standing for the Lord's Prayer for all the children of the world, and this is how I shout it from the top of my lungs on YouTube. Well, because they kicked me off Facebook. Because I wouldn't take typical Illuminati money. Well, I didn't want to clone myself. No, I want to live out a long, healthy life and pass away. And pass on the gift of the life of sacrifice and, to my kids. So one enchanted evening, you may see your true love. Remember, everybody dies. Everybody dies. Even cloners die. Okay? Someday, someone's going to get ahead of them, build a robot that's better than their robot. Howard ain't going to be there. Kripke going to win. Then he's going to go in and kill Sheldon's clone, and no one's going to allow Sheldon to clone himself. Kripke's going to have the greatest mind. He's going to get the government contract. He's going to have the guidance system. And then he's going to be screwing Penny at the titty bar every night because he's going to get rid of Leonard. Because he can. Because we just crossed 110th Street. Right? He'll start drinking. I didn't get to watch the end of that movie. The same thing happened with Chico and the Man. The very last thing cut off and went into the next movie. I was like, that's bullshit, man. You don't do that. That's like Jim fucking Oberlin. He used to do that. He would sit there and act like he'd fall asleep on the couch. He'd have a movie on, it would be up, and then in the last 5 minutes he'd wake up and he'd change it. He thought it was funny. Like, what an asshole. I don't need to see the end of the movie. There is no end. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Do you understand? The man I love until the bitter end. If you think that's love, that's David Rockefeller. They'll do it till the bitter end, Parsons. The bitter end. Being in power and being in control. Okay. Read another book about the dear lady. Read another book. I Real When God Writes One. Okay. The Lord. Okay. The story is about the Lord and his faith in God. Okay. And he is the story. And you can't write it on a book and change his life into your fantasy. Right? Okay, so you're just like your sugar daddy and you're nothing like me. Right? So I want to be your sugar daddy. Give me honey, all my money. I'll give you money and congratulations too. There ain't nothing. I bring it on home to you. It's not sweet loving. If you have to give her money and all that shit, Is she gonna live the Lord's Prayer with you? Okay. Well, then there is no end. Okay. Even if this planet blows up and we're part of a supernova that evolves into a black hole, and then there's a new sun and a new this, and then a Clyde, bam, and boom, and then you have dinosaurs and Littlefoot, and then you get Katie Bug and cantaloupe parties, you know, over billions of years all over again. There is no end to faithful love. Okay. There is no end. But lie that tries to eliminate the truth of faithful love, it ended yesterday. Right? Okay, you're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna load this one up. That other one took about 2 hours and some odd, but it didn't matter to me. It's Sunday, and it's summertime, and leaving is easy. Okay. All right, let's load this one too. All right, I got time, man. I got time.